let's start the podcast. Hello, it's Goose's Quizzes Headquarters podcast here to take you to a cruising altitude of 15,000 trivial feet. I'm your captain for today, Captain Scott. Hello. Joining me today is the Trivial Trip, is our co-pilot Kirsty.
Hello, good afternoon.
And in the cabin today, serving your hot drinks for extortionate prices, Goose.
Hello.
Myself and the co-pilot Kirsty will be competing as we fly through today's percentage game. Don't worry though. We won't take your eyes off the roads in the sky and keep you all safe and sound as we fly to our final destination, fun. That was good. I enjoyed that one.
I feel like your captain's voice could use work.
So the word final destination in relation to a plane flight doesn't bring up happy fun time memories
You
for
fly
me.
into a terminal.
I mean, that's the whole point of the first movie.
Yeah.
Oh, is it the flight one, the first one?
Yeah.
Flight 180.
I have not seen much. I think I've seen, there's one of the Final Destinations I've seen a lot of. It's the one with the sunbeds, and it makes me terrified.
The third one?
I don't understand how people can do
That's the roller coaster one, right? The one with the sunbeds in it. I think it's the
Yeah,
same.
I think so.
Yes, it is. It's also the one with the logs, I think, in it as well.
No, that's the
Yes.
second one.
Oh, sorry.
Is it?
Okay. So I didn't realize you're a Final Destination expert.
I had watched the first three like a lot. I remember seeing the fourth one in the cinema, and I watched that quite recently. My flatmate watched it, and because it was made for 3D, but then watching it
right,
in
yeah.
not 3D,
It's like,
it's just like,
why are they all these logs?
yeah, one word, underwhelming. That's what I call it. That's the NASCAR one as the fourth one.
Do you think Final Destination has just given a sort of generation of people general anxiety for everything?
Mm-hmm.
No, I had general anxiety before that.
Oh, right, yeah.
It wasn't
Before.
Final Destination that did it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to just instantly laugh at that. Like, same here. But I think there's a lot of things in life that you're like, I can't drive behind logs on a lorry because we'll all die. Like, that's instant death.
That almost happened to one of my friends. They said that,
No.
went under a bridge that was too. Luckily, they pulled back and got into like the next lane.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
truck,
God.
hit that, and then the truck kept going, and the log stopped, and then fell, and yeah.
Jeez, that's so scary.
That's terrifying. Absolutely
Imagine,
terrifying.
right? Ugh, big pass.
Anyway, welcome to the Fun Time podcast.
Yeah, we're talking about ways you could die. Dumb ways to die.
Ways to die.
A friend of mine was involved in that campaign, that marketing campaign.
That's a good marketing
Yeah.
campaign.
What was it for?
I thought it was Victoria's.
Train
was it
safety
Victoria's?
stuff, wasn't
It was originally Australian, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Because I think that was
really,
when
you
I was
should
over
know.
here. Well, I think it started when I was over here, so I
Yeah.
just got like sent the song and then the game.
Yeah, there was a good game with it.
Right.
The song was good. They made like a whole franchise from that, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
From an advertising campaign, which is pretty much just like one advert.
About train safety as well.
Yeah, but
It's important.
it was
Yeah.
good. The train safety advert was funny, and it was done well. And I think it was used quite a lot of places around the world, so well played them. If you know what we're talking about, Dumb Ways to Die, the little kind of like beans or something. They're kind of like
Little
amorphous.
cartoony.
They look like Mr. Men.
And
Yeah.
they're all kind of like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all kind
Which
of.
for an audio medium, I'm moving side to side in a bobbing motion.
Bop, she's bopping along. Anyway, it's podcast day.
It is podcast day,
Welcome, everyone.
and that means we're time for podcasting.
We're doing it. We'll get to the percentage game in a little bit. We just have to have our weekly catch up.
Yeah, this is our like team meeting.
Yeah, Louis is away doing cycle again.
Oh, not doing.
His
so.
legs are moving.
He
Yeah.
is
pedaling.
cycling for the. Oh, I mean,
This is like a full day one, is it? 16 hours or something? I should know.
1,000 kilometers. This one is.
Is it?
I just saw the Instagram story where he said he spent an hour sleeping under a bridge like a little troll.
Yeah, like showman. Yes, he's competing in all points north,
Yes.
which is
Went from Sheffield, I think.
Oh, here you go.
Is that the Lockerbie?
This year there are 100 riders, 30 rookies, 50 solos, and 10 pairs, and he's in a pair.
Math adds up.
And so he's in a pair, and the pair that he is in. Last time I looked at actually, he was in fourth. But
Oh,
that
wow.
might have just been for the pairs. I don't know if that was for everyone. But yeah, last time I looked, he was in fourth. and but I think that was just for the 10 pairs. But still, that's like insane.
Yeah.
Louis Moorhead. Oh wow! It even has like links to. It has links to Strava. That's so funny.
It's doxing him. That's rude.
What 106B.
Yeah.
He is.
Keep track. That's where it is.
If you want to, because you can track them. They've got a little like tracker
quite
thing.
fun.
Where's the tracker thing? They have like a little.
He did make it publicly available, so.
Oh yeah, don't worry.
It's
here we
like
go.
IRL marbles on stream.
Yeah.
Basically, we could pick,
Yeah.
although quite slow IRL marbles. And if you look at the map, the crazy thing about it is, it's just like everyone's everywhere. I don't know how they've got so far away. Is it a different route for the pairs? I don't know. I don't understand what they have to do.
We don't know. But anyway, that's where Louis is. We've got Kirsty in. Co-pilot.
Yep.
Co-piloting.
He's in
You're
second.
the co-pilot's chair. He's in second overall.
No, for the pairs.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, him and Matt Charnley are doing it together.
Wow.
And so they must have to. Do they have to route it themselves? That's insane. I think they have to route it themselves.
Yeah, I think this is one where you're not supposed to like tell people, or you don't have to tell people the route. You just have to get there.
Ah, right. Yeah, because I think he is. So what's he done? He's been.
So that's
to,
why they're all over the place, because they're all following slightly different routes.
He's been
Yeah.
to Nick O'Pendle, Semmerwater, Skyerholm, and Alpa.
Ah, we got a big audience from Alpa.
Do we?
Maybe. Probably. Hello if you're from there.
There you go.
Niche.
So well played. If you, yeah, he's cycled 307.73 kilometers so far, and I think his last cycle he did was it 5? No, it was.
I remember.
I thought it was like 300 kilometers the last week did.
Maybe.
Crazy. So well played, Louis. We'll keep you up to date with how he's getting on.
Yes. Good job, him.
Yes.
But anyone else cycled anywhere lately? I haven't. My bike's got a flat tire.
My bike's got a flat tire.
My bike got stolen.
Oh.
So we're all doing well in the
Well
old
then.
biking community.
Alright.
Look at us.
I mean,
smashing it.
Louis really doing,
More than
covers the
enough.
rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we could sit back and relax.
He's keeping the balance.
I have an interesting stat about Louis Strava, though, just to update you.
Mm-hmm.
Louis Strava, followers 239, following 240. So there's one person that must not follow.
F for F. Follow for follow.
Yeah, he's not a
Yeah.
follow for follow kind of person. Now you know.
He's just keeping that edge.
Yeah, he just wants to have that slim.
Oh, yeah. More followers than following.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course. Influencer.
But yeah, welcome to the podcast.
Thank
This is
you.
us. Yeah, I feel like those intros make me feel very eased into like just chatting away.
It's
normally.
nice. It's nice not having to think about what you're going to say at the start.
Yes, that is.
Just
I,
having something written up.
I quite like writing
Yeah.
it for other people. It's quite good fun.
Yeah. That
Uh,
also takes the edge off like trying to be entertaining yourself.
I
If
like-
someone else can do it beforehand with a bit of time.
Yeah, I mean, what, a good solid 10 minutes before the podcast.
Yeah, if anyone didn't know, we write each other's introductions.
Oh yeah, just
so-
if that's a new element to the podcast that we've added in recently. But yeah,
Everyone's week good, Goose?
yeah, it's been. What have I been doing this week? Good question. It's been a week. I went. Yeah, I've had it.
One
I've
whole
had
week.
it.
I've heard they are sometimes,
I've had a solid week. It's been full of admin as is the past like 3 months for me. So it's about the same as what all my months have been for recently. Admin filled.
Nice.
So
Nice.
not to sound annoyed, I do admin for a quiz company. So you know
Keeping those gears turning.
exactly.
Good.
Yeah. What about you, Kirsty?
Yeah, doing good. Yeah.
Has it been? Has it also been a week?
It's been, you could certainly say that. You could describe it as 7 days.
So much in common.
Yeah.
Those weeks. There's some quite exciting stuff happened this week. We're going to talk about it in the podcast. We've had some shared experiences. We've had some individual experiences which are have a commonality to them. We've organised this so well today. I think.
Yeah, we got a very exciting schedule come up. But with the podcast, people listening at home, we've got Percentage Game coming up, which internet people, if you've seen it on the Instagram or the stream or, I mean, anywhere really, social medias, we've gotten people's guesses for the podcast questions that Kirsty and I will also be doing, competing in. So it's going to be myself versus Kirsty versus the world.
To the death.
Yes. That's the exciting surprise element that we've brought to today's episode.
Yeah.
So you can get involved if you haven't been involved, but if you're listening now, then you can get involved in the future ones because it'd be too late.
Yes.
I had to take the audio and edit it and then release it, and so. But keep an eye out on the social medias if you want to get involved. Answer some questions and do some quizzy Fridayness.
Scott does it with cassette tapes. That's how he edits the podcast. He puts it onto a cassette.
Yeah.
And has to cut the tape on the cassette.
Yeah.
He listens to a little bit. No, not that. Cuts it, slices it together. It's quite impressive.
Yeah.
Got a massive 8-reel going on.
Yeah.
switching back and forth. And
Yeah, he does.
Every time you hear a siren, that's the cassette needing changed.
Yeah.
Just to let you know.
Change to side B. That was my favorite noise on cassettes. You know, at the start of that?
I don't remember that.
Oh, it's like at the start. I don't know what it is for, but might look that
I
up.
don't know if I had a cassette that made that noise at the beginning.
No?
No, I don't think so
think
either.
so.
Maybe it's
It's an
Australian
Australian
format.
Yeah.
That's how you know that it's a
It's a-
southern hemisphere tape because it spins the other way. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. What's Australian like? So like PAL, and what's the version of that in Australia?
Oh, like NTSC.
Yeah,
I think it's just PAL,
oh, you have PAL as well.
Region 4 or something.
Oh right, okay. I remember I took DVDs over from the UK over to New Zealand when I went there. I didn't play in DVD players there. And it was
really?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
No.
Wonderful. Brought a big stack of DVDs with me, and none of them played.
Oh, no.
It was really upsetting. Didn't know what to do about it. So
Yeah.
Just make those garden ornaments that scare away birds or something instead with them.
I could take them
For
home
magpies.
again,
Put them on your bike helmet to scare away the magpies.
Yeah.
which people still don't believe is a true thing in Australia. Until there was a reel that went around with it recently of a magpie attacking a kid on a bike.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
you know that's right, Kirsty.
I think I've seen the video as well.
Yeah, magpies attack. They go for your eyes. So you put eyes in the back of your helmet.
yeah.
Insane. That.
Our poster used to have helmet with big eyes on the back of it.
Brilliant. I remember going to Australia and people telling me this, and I was like, "That's not true. You're lying to me. You're just trying to make me feel stupid." And then because you have the story about drop bears, and it's like, okay, but the stupid thing about that story is you don't need a fake story. You could just tell real stories about things in Australia, and everyone would be like, "Are you shitting me?" And it's like, no. I told you the story about someone's dad telling me about the brown snake, and he didn't say a word to me this whole wedding weekend. And then he goes to me, "Oh, you get bitten by a brown snake? Oh, here's what you do: you take your top off, you take your t-shirt off, you fold it up into a little kind of pillow, put it on the ground, lie down, and wait to die." Oh, lovely stories.
You are supposed to stay pretty still, but not accept fate like that.
Yeah, so I was like, cool, thanks so much for that lovely. He was like the most gruff farmer kind of Australian man I've ever met, real hardy Australian man. But yeah, you don't need to make stories up like drop bears. You've got terrifying things in your country.
I think it's just funny how it's just like an unspoken agreement between Australians.
I think,
And everyone from different regions has different, oh yeah, and they do this, and they also do this. And
Yeah.
then someone will be like, oh, do yours do this? Oh no, but ours do.
but it's like haggis here. We have the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Was there ever a point that you thought haggis were real?
No, because I learned about haggis when I was 10.
Yeah.
Sadness.
Yeah.
I have had people going at the quizzes about it before, for quite a long time.
Oh, really?
And I did feel a bit bad about it after a while. As soon as you say 3 legs, some people will be like, "No way." But
Well,
if you don't,
especially with the legs shorter than other legs for the running around the bottom of mountains.
yeah, you've got a sort of list of things that it goes through. It's like they go around Munros and in Scotland. It's
Yeah.
fine, that seems normal. And then
Makes sense.
They have 3 legs. Some people will be checked out then. And then it's 1 leg shorter than the other 2. Some people will check out then. So they can run on the hills. So they can only run one way around the hill, around the mountain. Most people check out at that point. And then the way you catch them is you jump out from behind gorse and heather bushes to be like, ah! And then someone stands at the bottom with a bag. And as they're rolling down, their legs fall off. It's and that's how we get haggis.
I mean, lizards lose tails, so
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
my-
right.
When's the last time you
Right,
saw
and the
a
other thing
3-legged
was that-
animal that was evolved that way?
well, I know, but the other thing as well, of course, East Coast and West Coast haggis are different because
Absolutely.
of the different slant of the hills. So the leg sizes are slightly different.
Yeah, they evolved to the hills that they're on.
that's 1 point evolution. My dad told me that certain cows have one side leg's shorter than the others, so they could do that. So
See?
oh,
So it's like a
that's
common
quite
idea.
clever.
I'd say
I knew someone who used to sell like haggis eggs that were just
Amazing.
stones.
Amazing.
Wow, lucrative.
There was someone at a hotel was telling me recently that there was like a lot of American tourists there, and this was over at what's Glencoe. This was at the Isles of Glencoe Hotel, and had quite a lot of American. It's a beautiful hotel. Had American tourists there, and they were all like, "Oh, is there any chance we can see a haggis?" And they go, "Oh, we farm them here, but they're nocturnal." And so, but about 2 or 3 in the morning, we'll be out, and they'll be like around in the pen. And then they came up to them the next morning looking pretty tired, and were like, "We went out at like 2 in the morning and waited for these haggis, and we didn't see any." And he was just like, "Oh, we went out late last night, and like half an hour after you must have gone to bed."
That's so cute.
It's brutal. It's like, absolutely brutal. But c'est la vie.
Good to have some culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, about the culture of making fun of other people.
Oh, it's a shame.
Oh, sorry.
Right, we should go on to the percentage game.
Are you going to explain it? Or?
Do we not have the video?
Okay, yeah.
The percentage game runs as follows. There are 5 quiz questions that have been asked to thousands of teams that have taken part in our online and real-life pub quizzes. Those competing in the percentage game must guess the percentage of teams that got the answer correct. Whoever gets the closest to the actual percentage gets the most points, and the further away you are, the fewer points you get. The audience answer is taken as an average and is made up of anyone who's filled out the form prior to the game. The winner after 5 questions is the one with the most points. If you want to contribute to the audience average, keep an eye on the social medias, as we will release the entry form with the questions a day before the next podcast recording. Thank you very much, Goose. That was well explained and I would say read in an extremely good manner. If you're watching this in video, I really hate how that video looks because I look way above the camera. It's like I've not noticed the camera's there. But welcome. If you do want to watch that video, you can. It's on YouTube, so you can get the full recording of the podcast there and an edited version if you're listening to that. Well played, you. You've chosen an edited version of this, which I assume is not going to have so much dross in it. Let's go on to the first question. Question 1. Question 1. Let's remember if I can remember how to actually run this. Question 1. What is the value of one internal angle? Sorry, of one internal angle of a regular pentagon. So what is the value of one internal angle of a regular pentagon? Now remember, I don't care as much about the answer as I do about the percentage, so please give me a percentage for this, and then, we'll move on. But I need an answer percentage from you both, please. The audience, you've submitted yours. This is if you're watching live, this is the last time you can submit. In the future, if you want to get involved, you're very welcome to. We'll put it out on a Thursday, but let me know when you're done, and I'll stop filling for time.
This is a tough question.
Well, is it? That's this whole podcast, by the way, Scott. just letting you know what you've done there is announce the whole premise of this game.
No, but they're not all tough questions.
No, you're right.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me do some maths in my head.
All right, I've got an answer.
I was talking to a quiz host the other day, and we were saying that maths questions are some of my favorite questions in the quiz.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you've learned it at some point.
Yeah.
Like it's always one that's like I have been told this at some point. It's been on a board in front of me, and I know I've learned about this, and I just can't remember what it is.
My favorite are the triangle questions. Like what isosceles.
100%.
Yeah.
It's so good questions.
I'm ready.
Kirsty, how you feeling?
I'm
not just asking sort of general welfare. I'm more like,
Thanks, because this could take a while. Okay, I think I'm good. I think I have an answer and a percentage.
Okay, show me your boards now. Okay, right. So, Scott, we'll take your answer and percentage first.
I wrote 112 degrees, 112 degrees,
Yes.
and 25%.
25%. And Kirsty said?
I wrote 130 degrees and 55%, but I actually do think I've gone too high. And also I drew a fly.
That's a very good fly. I like your nails, by the way.
Thank you.
That's pretty fly for a whiteboard.
But-
So,
Yep, he's done it.
right. So, and your answers the answers you said 100. What did you say?
112.
And you said
130.
okay. The actual answer is 108 degrees
Close.
in one angle, which you can work out with difficulty because I actually can't think.
There's
how
a
you work
formula
out.
for it.
There is sides and angles and such,
Yeah.
which I assume someone will be able to tell us pretty quickly. But
Something to do with, is it 360? I don't. Yeah.
it surely is something to do with 360
But you have to
degrees.
work out like you probably don't. Something about the outside angles first.
I can't think.
Maybe.
I honestly
But-
cannot think.
Penta's
But
5,
the,
right?
the amount of people that just divide 360 by 5.
Yeah.
100%.
Right.
It's a
Yeah.
problem.
Yep.
So 25, 55. Let's show these. 25 for Scott, 55 for Kirsty. I'll let you know the actual percentage came out at 33.2. 33.2.
All right, let's
so there
do
you go.
this.
33.2. Let us see. So I'm not going to say who's close at the moment, but you can probably work it out. But
Yeah.
you can. Work
That's
it
the
out.
math I can do, yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's see the audience's percentage, if it's going to be a snake or not. They said 64.9%, which
Oh, wow.
is obviously quite a bit more. So let's see the scores for that one. We can see that Scott got 3 points for the first one, Kirsty on 2 points, and the audience on 1 point, which is a rare poor start for the audience there.
Yeah,
Quite
gotta bring
far
it back.
away. Yeah, audience said 64.9%, which is almost double what the actual percentage was. So people either in our audience are really smart or think that people are really smart.
It's difficult for me because I know, like, previously when I've asked that question, a lot of people got it wrong. But then more recently when I've asked it, lots of people have gotten it right.
Yeah.
And so I was a bit tripped by it this time to be like, I don't know what to put.
Maybe they're adding like internal angles to like Fortnite or something. TikTok
yeah.
is going viral.
Instead of doing like "Are you a robot?" things and you have to pick out bridges, it's like how much is 90 degrees in this angle?
Quick, math.
I mean, that would be. I'm sure it's a game online already. It's like they show you an angle and you say what degrees it is.
Probably.
Because that would be a fun game.
Like just by looking at it.
yeah, like if
Yeah,
you,
that'd
that
be
would be a
nice.
really fun game.
I enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
Not very good at it, but I'd enjoy doing that.
I could make that game, I'm sure. Yeah, fine.
Kirsty, you've been
Yes.
doing shows lately. That's kind of your thing. You went and saw a show last night.
I've not been doing them.
You've been
What have you been performing?
You've been present at shows. What are you doing at the Fringe?
I've been present at events. Yeah. Yesterday I went through, which is not yesterday by the time you're listening to it, unless you're listening to it live, and
Behind
then
the
it was
curtain.
yesterday. Yesterday I went through to Edinburgh to see ECA's degree show, so Edinburgh College of Arts degree show.
Nice.
And the degree show is what?
So when you finish your course, be that your like undergraduate one or your master's or whatever, you put on a show of the work you've done. So it's like an exhibition of work. You're essentially working towards your final year, is sort of working towards creating whatever it is for this degree show.
And
Yeah, big exhibition.
you went to ECA.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I graduated 2018, so a few years ago now.
2018, is it? Is that when you graduated? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. And
Yeah,
we
right.
plucked you from the nest and said, right.
Yeah. Well,
Come with us.
I was working with you before anyway. So
No, I know.
just-
You, the fateful night where you electrocuted yourself.
We needed an arty one.
Yeah.
Not electrocuted. Shocked.
No, shocked. Sorry. Didn't kill yourself, but damn near tried. So,
Yeah, gave it my best shot.
a full mains whack you got.
Yeah. I think I've told this story before on a podcast, probably,
Hey.
but yeah,
Every time
Yeah.
it makes you laugh.
yeah. Because I was an idiot, yeah, I gave myself a full names.
I mean,
Names shock.
so do you think the people? Did you feel at the degree show that anyone put that level of dedication into their project to give
I think
themselves?
they always do. They always do. I think art.
Did you walk
art
up to
students-
people? Would you take a full mains shock for this? And then they
Yeah, I
say
think-
no. You're like, doesn't you don't even matter.
F.
That's an E
Most-
for electrocuted.
Most art students, I feel like, have a tendency to overwork themselves, other than anything else. So would probably put themselves through hell and high water.
Do you think that they overwork themselves, or they are bad at time management?
But both. Both are true.
Double checking which one you think
Both
is
are true. But yeah, I went to see my friend. They just graduated from with an MFA in glass, which they've now stopped offering glass as a program at UCA. So that's it. Glass is now glass.
Last one.
Learn how to do glass. Yeah, do glass blowing, do cold work, all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
Very cool.
Yeah, so they had a bunch of these really cool glass blowing pieces that were interactive through like a Twitter hashtag, and they'd worked with other artists as well.
Nice.
It was really
That's
cool.
really cool.
So if you do want to check that out, Ames Truscott is their name. We can put a link somewhere, I'm sure, to an Instagram.
We can put it in the show notes.
Yeah,
for
a
sure.
website or something. But yeah, that was very cool. There was some other really good stuff as well. I enjoyed. I didn't get to see all of it because it's always a bit hectic.
Yeah.
How big, like how many sort of individuals would it?
Oh God, I don't know.
Whoops.
Hunters and hunters.
Oh, really?
Lots,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, loads. I mean, you've got all of the design school, all of architecture was in there, music was in there, which is the first time I've seen any music degree show, which was nice because
I didn't
normally,
realize that ECA did music.
yeah, it's way off. You know where Elephants and Bagels is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the Reed School of Music is.
No way.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't
it's
realize
very,
ECA
yeah.
did music. That's so interesting.
Yeah. I think maybe at one point it used to be like a separate school. Maybe, I'm not sure, a bit like architecture was, but it's definitely been part of ECA for ages now.
I applied for
yeah.
ECA when I went to uni and I didn't go.
Yeah.
I went to Napier instead, just far superior.
Well, Napier did have free drinks at the degree show opening, didn't it?
Well, that's why last week was such a struggle. Like you seem fairly fresh comparative to my last week, which was not fresh.
Yeah, because there wasn't free drinks.
Not
First
saying anything.
exhibition opening I've ever been to where I didn't get a free beer
Did you
or
get
like
a token?
cup of. No, I did not
Nothing.
get handed a token. We had like Eventbrite tickets and everything went up. There was no tokens handed out. Even like people I know who were exhibiting there had problem getting tokens and stuff. It seemed to be a bit of a.
No way.
Yeah, it was
I
a bit-
mean, I do understand. I understand in the sort of current climate, fair enough, things are tight and all this kind of stuff, and I get that. But
It's also Edinburgh Uni. Edinburgh Uni's not tight on cash, are they?
no, they're not short on cash. I would say, yeah, Napier was good. So just to be clear, I went to the Napier degree show last week. This the same time last week. It was Thursday night. Because one of my friends is a lecturer who is leaving. So O'Dowd's is off to China actually, and got a job over there. But the degree show was great fun. And it was really actually it's nice to go back. It's almost 10 years since I left uni, and or since I finished the masters, and it was really nice to go back and sort of say, maybe if you feel the same about this, Kirsty, like it's nice to just see that everyone else is working hard, even like because you remember how much work you put into it, and then you see them and you see how like relieved they are at the degree show, and sort of like, oh my god, it's over. Like this is like I'm done with this like phase of my life of just non-stop work. How did you get that same feeling for it?
Sort of, yeah. I find it is also strange though as well because obviously they had their like the sort of press stuff just before they opened for friends and family, so they'd had all of the like awards and the RSA stuff handed out
Right.
like just before friends and family opened. So I think a lot of people were dealing with. I think feeling quite disappointed or sad that they hadn't gotten things, or there was a lot of that going on as well, which always is really tough to deal with at a time, because it is hard because you've put so much effort and time into something and literally worked yourself like to the bone to the point of being unwell doing it, and then it can be tough. So it was difficult seeing, because I know it was nice to see that people. The space being full as well, because when I did my degree show was when ECA was like through its we only had access to half the building because they were doing massive work on the building.
Oh, right,
so there was like holes in the wall and bare wires and.
I think
all
I
sorts
came
of
to
stuff.
see your degree show. I think I
Maybe,
came. I think you gave me an invite.
Yeah, I remember bumping into Louis, so Louis definitely came.
Yeah, I think you gave me an invite to it. Well, if you gave Louis an invite and didn't give me one, I'd be pretty upset.
No, I think I gave invites to everyone.
Oh yeah.
if I remember rightly.
It
Yeah.
is fun degree show stuff. I definitely want to make a sort of habit of going to more degree shows. I'm going to go and try to go to the degree show at ECA.
Yeah,
Obviously,
well, it's only open till like the 12th or the 13th, I
really?
think.
Is it open to the public?
Yeah.
Do you want to go
So
down
you can
some point,
just go-
Scott?
Yeah, we could.
We can be like,
It's
we
only
can
just round
pretend.
the corner
Do you want to
from
dress
me.
up in our nicest things and pretend that we're? I've done this before at degree shows. It's bad. Like I used to do. I do it with my mate Terry that we go to the Napier degree show with, and we used to dress up like really really fancy and walk around as if we were like going to hire people, and it was really bad. So people would give us cards immediately, and we'd be like, "I'm sorry, you've only got a finite number of these I can see." Like like it's real sad because you've got your little presentation stand and like you got all your stuff set up, and then you've got like your contact details, and then you'll have cards there because they're all like everyone's students. They don't know the working world. I printed. We all have cards here for Goose's quizzes, and I think you all have 5,000, maybe 10,000, because you give out cards for nothing. Like you give out cards when there's any opportunity to give out a card. And the amount of students that I printed 100 cards. It's like, why?
I was not one of those students. I still have cards left over from the show.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
No one took.
Yeah.
They're just piles of them. No one touched them.
Now it would just be a good QR code. That's all you need to have. It's
Well,
QR
some people did that. Yeah. There's a lot of.
I had a QR code in my thing, and that was before QR codes were cool. So,
I forgot as well. There was a DJ set at one point last night.
no way.
Yeah, one of the artists had a I think their piece was a lot about sort of club culture and stuff, and they'd done a lot of like performance art based things.
Nice.
But they actually got a DJ in and ran a DJ set out one of the small rooms, cleared out the whole rest of the building. Everyone
Love
went
it.
to this one small room for a bit. That was good.
Love it.
That's fun. Their work was very good as well. Sean, I want to say. Let me
Nice.
see. I brought my cards over. Yeah, Sean Nair, I think. There we go. Look at
DJ
that.
Sean.
A card.
Nice. DJ. It wasn't Sean DJing.
No, but Sean was doing a performance piece alongside the music, I think.
Just pointing at the speakers. This is
No.
where the music comes from.
I managed to miss it because we were trying to find my
Scrounging for
friend's
drinks?
family. No, trying to find my friend's family.
Sorry. I'm not just portraying you as an alcoholic that goes to degree shows, because that's what I do. Like, that's very much who I am. in
Yeah,
this
pot
situation.
kettle black.
I know. They kept on coming around with wine at the Napier degree show, just to rub it in again.
They came round with it.
Some people were, but there was a huge bit of the way in where they just kept on topping up like huge sets of wine. And I'd walk over and be like, I just want to refill this glass because like I can just use this again. And I'll just take one. It's like, thank you.
Arms full of glasses.
Yeah.
Maybe that was someone's like piece, and they're like, that's their whole thing. They've been working on making glasses all.
Maybe it was like a big. Also, I found that it hit me so hard that wine in that degree shows for some reason.
the bubbles
I
that
get
do,
the
yeah.
most drunk for the quickest. 'Cause
It's the cheap box wine. That's it. That'll do it to you.
actually they had the governor for their white wine, which is the same wine I had at the wedding.
Ah,
Yeah, the governor. We had red and white governor
Yeah.
wine, and it's good wine, majestic wines. Honestly, we need to tag majestic in this, by the way, because I will tell you right now, the wine that we had at the wedding and the wine they had at the degree show, brilliant wine. That wine is fantastic.
Good.
I can't believe we're ending this segment on wine. But
Well, I have one more question. Did you have like an outright favorite piece that you saw, like just something that like really
Yeah.
caught your eye? It's like, yeah, I really like.
I genuinely really enjoyed Ames's work a lot. But other than that, there was this one piece there were lots of things I liked, but there was this one piece I walked into the room, and without looking at anything or like checking names or what things were called, it was this tiny little itty bitty like itty bitty like sculpture of a horse on this really tall thin pedestal that was just like spotlit. And I was like, oh, I love the tiny horse. And then I checked, and the work is just called Tiny Horse. And that was one of the favorite things I saw as well.
Nice.
Which is also Fred Connor. There's another name. That was his.
Fred
Fred
think
Connor,
Fred
tiny
Connor.
horse.
that's
Tiny horse.
I mean, I do enjoy that it's all about justification for art and design. Like as long as you give it a good justification, fine. So basically, you learn how to bullshit well. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not distilling it. Sorry, Kirsty. I didn't mean to
Oh no, sorry, my phone just vibrated and I felt
Oh,
annoyed by it.
I thought you looked like really angry there. I was like,
No,
oh,
not at
sorry,
all.
Kirsty.
That's entirely what art is. It's just like coming up with a stupid idea and then being like, but it's related to this.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's actually related
This
to
gives it
poverty,
weight.
and then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
everyone loves it. Like this.
Yeah.
So I texted Kirsty apologizing for Goose. Sorry.
He's so crass. No, I felt like that was the.
No, I wasn't at all annoyed. It was just my phone vibrated my whole desk and I was like, oh no, it'll come through the mic.
It's definitely something that I learnt with design. It's like you do a project because we used to do interventions, like where you had to like put something in the way of people, or like interventions we would call them, and then it was like whatever you did, you just had to justify really well. And you'd see people do amazing projects that were really interesting, but because they didn't justify them very well, it was like, oh, you don't get a good mark because you just don't bullshit well. Like this is like not that, I mean, some things obviously it wasn't bullshit, but it's just like it's interesting to see.
It's using the right language to explain what you're saying as well. A lot of it is
so
that.
true.
It's quite gatekeepy, I think. Like, well, the art world is. But
yeah, absolutely. There is a sort of aspect where if you know the language, it's fine, but if you don't, it's over. Like you're not getting in, and it is a shame. I do think it's a shame. But then I suppose, I don't know. Do I like that or not? I don't know. We'll see what people think. Maybe we'll get loads of complaints to this one.
I suppose as well, it's maybe one of the things that like separates stuff like art and craft a bit more. Like there's that argument that like you can take part in arts or be like an outsider artist and arguably make much better work than people that were like educated in an institution, but you don't use the same language to describe it, but it doesn't make it any less worthwhile.
Okay, Scott. One last question in this situation: if you were going into an art discipline and you had to become like a pro at it. And like what this is a situation, I don't know if like there must be prizes for every discipline in art. So like whatever the discipline you go into, what discipline would you go into to make and you have to achieve the prize? What would be the discipline you go into? Sorry, this is my stupid question for this.
For me,
yeah, what would you do?
Like material wise, or like painting, sculpture,
glass blowing. What would be your discipline that you're like, I could win it? I will. Dedicate the rest of my life to doing this.
Definitely not painting.
I mean, you do screen printing. I mean,
nope.
Vinyl cutting.
Yeah, can I do that? That's more like digital design turning physical.
Well, you could do anything you wanted.
I studied a whole degree on that.
I did at school. I carved a sculpture out of Hebel block.
What's that?
Like aerated concrete.
Oh right, yeah.
So
that's cool.
It wasn't great, but it was fun. So
what was the sculpture of?
It was.
By the way, if you just say a cock, I'd be like, yeah. But I don't know why that would just be the best. The best moment ever. Oh, it was real art. Like
it was just.
It was real art.
Like it was to replace all the penises that have been chipped off of various statues.
It was Michelangelo's David's. Little David. No,
I called it Little David.
This is my. No, I was well into
6 foot tall, Scott.
I was well into soccer, so it was just someone standing with their foot on the soccer ball.
Oh, wait, it's quite big.
Oh.
No, it was maybe 1.5 feet tall.
Sorry, just because I spoke about something that was 6 foot tall there, I thought it was 6 foot tall.
Yep, it was life size.
That's awesome. Right, so do you think sculpture would be what you go for?
Yeah.
Hey, Kirsty studied that. She could. It'd be a race.
Okay.
You'd win it.
You didn't see my year 12 final piece.
Would you go for sculpture, Kirsty?
I think I'd probably do more. Well, maybe, but it would be very different from what I did, when I was studying sculpture. I would probably do more like sort of soft sculpture things or like fabric pieces than I did. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, fair enough. I think I would go for. I really wanted to do some perspective drawing stuff again, which I really loved doing when I was at school. So I suppose it would be a lot like tech drawing, sort of style stuff. But it'd probably be art. I suppose mine would come underneath. Yeah. Like it'd be more like drawing.
Yeah, I mean there are some places that'll do just drawn courses.
Yeah, mine would probably be like pencil drawing with like that kind of stuff. I love perspective drawing stuff, so I want to get back into it. Anyway, we should move on. It's really enjoyable chatting about art, but we need to go on to question number 2. Okay, question 2. Which city is furthest west, Edinburgh or Paris? So which city is further west, Edinburgh or Paris? It's an either or. So if people are leaving blanks in these questions, they're wrongins. I said that over the mic at Neighbourhood to like 100 or so folk. And
They're wrongins.
wrongins. It's funny, everything I say there I know is being heard by all the neighbours as well. I'm in a big field. This quiz is in a huge field. And yeah, it's bad. I think everyone can hear me. In fact, I know that because I know people who have texted me saying they can hear my voice. I feel a bit bad. We've got answers and percentage from everyone.
Right.
Answers and percentage. Kirsty?
I put Edinburgh and 60.
Fantastic. Edinburgh and 60. Scott?
I put Edinburgh and 83%.
Edinburgh and 83.
Do you have a mouse drawn there?
Yeah, I do. I did this while we were setting up.
Is that a mouse?
So good.
And
So good.
Love it. Love it. Right. Let's show you. Right. So the answer, you both said Edinburgh, right?
Yep.
The answer is Edinburgh. So very well played. You got that right. But let us show you the percentages. Scott said 83%. Kirsty said 60%. The actual percentage was 73.1%. 73.1%. So there you go. Now you know. But we need to know what the audience average was. So currently, Scott's got the closest there.
so
Kirsty's
annoying.
further away.
Not much in it, though.
But let's see where the audience is at. Audience's percentage was 74.4%. So off by 1.3%. Audience firing hard on the second question, meaning that you have got audience 3 points, Scott 2 points, Kirsty 1. That is a solid 3 points that the audience has got there.
Took that personally.
The actual percentage was 73.1 and they got 74.4. That's really
that's
serious.
so close.
Yeah. That's a problem. I think we had a late entry there as well, so we got an extra team in, and yeah, there was some pretty close guesses in the.
Wow.
Well done.
Yeah, people
Well done.
really got that quite. I think people went quite in a weird way, quite analytical. Quite a few people guessed 75% for that one, which I think makes sense. In a weird way, when it's a binary option like that, it makes sense that it will be like 75%. Does that make sense to you?
Well, that's
In my head,
I
it
agree.
makes sense.
I agree with Kirsty.
Right, yeah, fine.
there's those exact noises in that exact order.
I couldn't have said that better myself. Not to be repeated.
No, fine, whatever. I think it makes sense.
Just another wee soundbite for you there.
Speaking of shows, next show.
Yeah, actually, before we move on to the next show, which I do want to talk about because it's all I've been thinking about for forever. But there was one other piece I really enjoyed at the ESA one, which was I, for the life of me, couldn't tell you the name of the artist just now, but we can pop it somewhere maybe. But it was these beautiful like glass blowing blobs. This wasn't in glass; it was a sculpture student.
Ooh.
These glass blowing blobs that were like blowing over these metal shapes. So they were like little legs. So they all looked like these weird little like bulbous spidery things. But
Nice.
she'd grown algae inside them as well.
Very
So they were
cool.
like these weird living plant spider things. And I think in terms of like, I think to be honest, I think they were maybe my top thing other than Ames's work. But Tiny Horse will live on in my heart, whatever. Anyway.
So like a was it like trapped in ember terrarium sort of thing?
Kind of,
Like
yeah.
a-
They were really
person-made-
beautiful.
Well, we
Very cool.
It's just feeling like more and more we have to go down and see it. So.
Yeah, you should. I really recommend that.
But speaking of other artists that you like,
Other artists I have admired for a long
what
time.
would you say your level of love is for this other artist we're going to talk about?
Well,
For the audio listeners at home, Kirsty has a picture of someone's bum on her.
I
t-shirt.
I stood up. I'm wearing a t-shirt. I went to see My Chemical Romance in
MCR.
Cornwall. Yeah,
Nice.
MCR.
First time, long time, or you seen him before?
I've seen them once before. I saw them in Glasgow back in 2014. It might have been.
Okay.
No, could it have been?
Glory
Could it have
days?
been? No, absolutely not.
I don't know.
So
2012.
what are these now?
These are
this is a
days.
reunion, isn't it?
they broke up.
Did
broke
they?
up for yep.
And did everyone realize COVID? They had no money, and it's like we should get back together.
No, they announced before COVID they were getting back together.
Ooh.
This is a pre-COVID thing. But yeah, so I went down to see them play at the Eden Project, which is the big,
That's probably the coolest thing of it all.
yeah,
I didn't.
big. Well, it was really great. It was such a cool venue, and we got like admission to the Eden Project, so we got to go down and see the plants the next day as well.
Nice.
Just it was like double whammy,
Score.
amazing stuff.
So was it outside
Yeah.
the actual gig?
Yeah. It was like so their reunion tour this time round. They started off in the UK.
This time
so
round. How many reunion tours can you do? There's no limit.
no, I suppose if you break up and get back together.
Yeah.
But no, this reunion tour they started in Cornwall, so we saw them on the second date that they'd
Right.
played. So they'd back in 2019 they'd done a reunion show in California in a place called the Shrine, which was like their first gig together since they broke up. So what was it like? I think maybe 2014 they released the last song that they released before they stopped ever making music together for
Right.
whatever. But it's been like 10 years or so since they played. It must have been about 2012 I saw them then.
I saw them at Tea in the Park in a while back, 2011 maybe. I think they were at Tea in the Park. They were good though. I was impressed. And did you sing along with all the songs and scream your lungs out?
Of course. Could I speak the next day? No.
No.
But yeah, it was really, really good fun. I loved it a lot.
Who would you like? Who would be your dream person to go and see for like a show?
I mean, for a long time it was MCR. For a long
Really?
time it was My Chemical Romance.
So you
Absolutely.
got your dream show.
100%. Yeah. I mean, that was what was weird about seeing them the first time. I think I don't think I was in a place where I could enjoy it as much as I should have done. So I think because I was quite anxious and having a lot of panic attacks at the time, so I don't think I
Right.
really enjoyed it the first time I saw them. Whereas this time I saw them, I was
All in,
it was just so much fun.
Oh,
It
that's
was
so
honestly
good.
like the best gig I've ever been to, and they were all enjoying themselves, which was nice to see.
Yeah,
good.
that is always more fun
yeah.
when you think that they're having a great time. Then it's like everyone's having a good time here. This is
Yeah. It was like after that as well, we immediately started looking to see if we could get tickets for the Glasgow show. Let's
You're
go
gonna
back,
be-
let's do it again.
You're gonna be one of those people that just like follows them around for every tour day.
Get your tickets on the way out.
Oh, Kirsty's
Yeah.
here again. Fantastic.
But no, it's
stamp
sold out completely for the Glasgow one. There was
wow.
nothing at all. I think they sold the most tickets anyone's ever sold for it at the Hydro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I bet you they're big in Glasgow. It doesn't surprise me as well. It feels like music that would like, I don't know. It just feels like music that people in Glasgow like.
The
big
emos
band.
come out the woodwork.
The emos, yeah. Glasgow's an emo city. Edinburgh's like
It's our time.
Edinburgh's more like what Louis likes, like interesting and things like the National. Like,
Sorry, interesting. But what are we what are we trying to
no,
say here?
interesting's not the right word there. Like indie is what I really mean, or like
Yeah.
I don't know if
That's
indie's
not
the right
what
word.
indie stands for.
Indie. What do I mean? I mean,
Interesting, new.
you know what I really mean
Very
is wanky
unusual.
music.
Oh, wait, there's no
I mean
new.
wanky music
Yeah.
is what I mean. Things that other people don't know about.
Yeah.
Scott, dream gig.
I mean, I mentioned Dead Sarah before the start. That's like kind of a recent band that I always wanted to see AC/DC, but I'm not sure now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Has it
yeah.
been controversy or is it just
No. Just, I mean, I was big into them when I was younger because my dad listened to them a lot. But I think maybe Peking Duck, I'd quite like to see.
I would go and see Peking Duck with
Australian
you. They're
duo,
class.
yeah.
Yeah. You know when Tom was on the podcast and he said he knew them and it was
Yeah.
just like, like so Tom was from Hot Tub Time Machine and he just like casually dropped in that he knows Peking Duck really
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And it was just like, whoa.
Yeah, he's interviewed a lot of people that I'd like to see
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
His
That's-
taste in music is basically my taste in music.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I always think whenever I see Tom play music on any platform, I'm like, oh, that's basically just my taste in music.
yeah, I don't have to do it because he's doing it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe Peking Duck, Dead Sarah would be cool. Apart from that, I don't know. I mean, I haven't really seen many live musics, but what I have seen is Hilltop Hoods twice, which is some of my favorites in Australia.
class.
I went and saw the Rolling Stones,
Oh, cool.
pretty big band. Don't know if
Yeah.
you've heard of them.
Don't know if you know them.
Real up and comers.
Have a magazine named after them.
And then just like other smaller Australian bands back home.
That's pretty big.
So, yeah.
I've not been. The first like actual gig I went to was Coldplay.
Okay.
Or the X and Y tour. I'll tell you what, that's a pretty good album. Like, I know what people can hate on Coldplay as much as they want. Yeah, fine, whatever, Kirsty. But like, I thought it was a pretty good album, and I was quite young, and so I was sort of caught with some of the people, and they were going, and I was like, I'll come as well. It was in Glasgow, it was a big outdoor one, and that was pretty cool. As in, like, when they played Fix You, like, he had a big light bulb that was in the middle of the stage, and he smashes it on just when, like, they get to the big crescendo, and then the whole thing goes crazy, and it was cool staging and things. No, I was quite impressed with Coldplay. But my dream gig would probably be to see. I was listening to Blink-182 again today, and I was really enjoying it, actually. Like, I forget how much I know all their songs.
I've seen them.
All right, whatever. And so, actually, I fulfilled a big one for me a while back. There was an album by Chase and Status that was like one of my favourite albums for a long time. I used to just love that album. Is it No More Idols? And Yellow on the album, and I went to the park and saw them, and like, all my friends went to something else. They were like, I don't really care about this, and I just had an absolute riot on my own, like just going crazy. Nice. So no, that was probably actually one of my dream gigs. I got to go and see. Yeah. Actually, tell you what, I got my dream gig. I got to see Foy Vance play at Cabaret Voltaire before he was like big, but like big enough in a secret gig that it was. He announced on the day. And sold tickets for it on the day, and we got tickets to it. And so myself, my sister, Gossip, my best man from the wedding, and his sister, we all went, and it was honestly one of the most incredible gigs I've ever been to. And it was like solidified why I love Foy Vance so much.
Nice.
And obviously, like, yeah, we played his songs at the wedding, and we tried to get him to play at the wedding. He didn't come.
I think Blink-182's supposed to be quite difficult to see live because Travis Barker has a huge fear of flying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think so. They didn't do many Australian tours, I think. So, like, one person I knew was very excited because it's like, man, they're all going to be there this time. I was like, what? So, apparently, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's...
I would really like to see Cold Beat, I think, actually.
Cold Beat,
yeah. We do.
Cold Beat.
You've said bands I don't know well enough. But yeah, Cold Beat, I would go
Cold
see.
Beat.
What sort of music do they do?
Beat. It's sort of synthy. It sort of sounds a bit 80s-y sometimes.
Nice.
It's nice. It's very good. I would go see them in a heartbeat if I could.
I was thinking about this in the car. My actual dream gig would be Daft Punk. Like, I'd like to go to a Daft Punk gig.
They'd be good.
I was listening to them in the car. Obviously, I know they've broken up now, but like, I was listening in the car, and I was like, it was the first album I bought. Discovery was like my proper like main, whatever. Just Daft Punk would probably be it.
Yeah, I also like to see Billy Joel.
Fair.
Yeah, but I think the thing that I
0.1% of all Billy Joel fans ever, the highest over here.
Nice, yeah. But I think the thing that I really like about music is that like the best, some of the best like experiences you can have is like it doesn't have to be music that everyone knows.
Yeah,
like you can have like your own sort of niche little.
Totally.
Yeah, but then it's probably a bit harder to see live bands in that sense.
Yeah.
I quite like going to like smaller bands gigs or like music I don't really know.
Yeah.
And kind of enjoy myself as well. Like me and Warren went to go see a band called Kaput in Glasgow. Warren Works. They're such good fun live. They're incredibly tight as well. Like they're really like boom. It's really good. Really good.
I
Really,
think
really
James
enjoyed
reviewed them. I think James Ewan reviewed them because I recognize. I think he posted something about them. Yeah,
they got two brass players in the band as well, which is always good. If you got, but yeah, Warren works with one of the members of the band, so that's sort of how we knew about them to go, or when they were playing. Which was, but yeah, they were really, really good, and I like doing that. I like going to
a random, like
slightly wee smaller venues to see things. It's always good fun.
Yeah, fair.
Glasgow's good for that.
Yes, it is. A lot of good small music venues and sort of good people booking things on, I think, as well. Tends to be. The reason this shirt has a bum on it, by the way. So this is a new T-shirt they brought out for the tour. Specifically, they released a couple of new bits of merch.
It's just a giant bum.
But it's there's a man attached to the bum.
Most bums have a person attached to them, but
so the person on the T-shirt's a guy called Mickey Taylor, who he makes music now, I think, but he was a sex worker. He was a porn star.
Oh.
He has a massive My Chemical Romance tramp stamp on the back of him. And the band reached out to him and were like, "Can we please make official merch with a photo of your tramp stamp
Amazing.
on it?"
The
Please.
dream,
So this
to
is
be honest.
It's fantastic.
yeah, isn't
Okay,
it? Isn't
fair.
it perfect?
I have a lot of time for that then.
Yeah,
Fine.
it's very good. It's very
Bum.
good fun. Yeah.
Question 3. Question 3. Can't believe I said bum on the podcast. Right. Question 3. In Roman numerals, what value is L for Lima? Question 3. In Roman numerals, what value is L for Lima? I often forget if it's Lima, as in the place in Peru, or Lemur,
Or-
as in like the little animal.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Lima or Lima.
Lima.
Oh no.
A lima bean.
Oh, is that how you spell lima bean?
Yeah, same. But it's
Isn't
the
it named after the city?
Yeah.
Why is it said differently then?
I don't know.
I don't know. I just sometimes
Accents,
I just
isn't it?
go,
That really got to me. I just don't like these kind of things. You were talking about spelling earlier, and it's like, oh, this one's said differently though. It's like, why? Somebody tell me why. Right, answer percentage. How is everyone getting on?
I actually don't like that.
What, you don't like your answer, or you? Don't...
No, my answer I'm fine with. It's my percentage I'm not
Yes.
sure about.
I'm not going to say how I felt about this percentage, but I picked these out because I like the questions. Really, I picked out questions that we've asked recently. You both asked these recently, right?
Yes. Yeah. I have
Yeah,
to.
interesting questions, eh?
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, it's interesting having asked them recently, I think.
Yes, but that also makes it tough
that-
because then you're like, well, I know how the venue I was in did with them.
Yes, that's what I'm actually maybe playing to you guys on. Apologies. Right, answer percentage. Let's see your... Ready,
I
Kirsty?
don't like it. Wait, no. Okay, wait. I'm gonna. I'll just put this. Okay, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Right, 3, 2, 1. Let's see your... Okay, Scott, what have you said?
I said L equals 50 and 88%.
And Kirsty...
I said L equals 50, and then I initially wrote 80 and I scribbled it out, and then I wrote 77 and then I scribbled it out, and then I started to write 70 and I scribbled it out, and then I wrote 63.
So you had a small breakdown, and then and then you wrote something down.
Just a mini one.
Yeah, that's fine. That's like... so 88 for...
Joel?
Scott, 63 for Kirsty. The actual answer was indeed 50. Well played. 50 for L. Yeah. Were you struggling with that?
Oh no, wait! I thought you said the actual answer was 50%. Oh God!
Oh, okay, Pat.
This is why we shouldn't
Okay,
have
Pat.
answers on the percentage one that
Okay,
are
dog.
numbers. It gets so confusing.
Agreed. But I enjoyed the early celebration.
Very
That was-
convoluted.
That was brilliant.
I was in the middle of stretching, actually.
Yeah,
but-
no, totally. Right, so 88 and 63. Kirsty's on 63. Scott is on 88%, but we're looking for the actual percentage now. The actual percentage came out at 81.4. So
Beauty.
that means that Scott is currently closest and Kirsty's a little
If I
further
just
away.
stuck with my initial answer, I would have won it.
Kirsty, stop
There
second
you
guessing
go.
yourself, please.
I know, you have to get to a point, but like we now need to see, is the audience going to be closer or further away?
It's a big gap.
It is a fairly big gap. You've got about 6 and a bit percent between, no, 7 and a bit percent between you and the answer there, Scott. Kirsty, maybe a little bit more. And the audience said 68.8, which puts them in second. So first for Scott, second for audience, third for Kirsty, which the points then get awarded at 3, 2, and 1 for
You
Kirsty.
know what tripped me up? Because I had 80 and I was sort of solid with it, and then you went, I'm not going to say anything about it, but this percentage, And then
Oh,
I was
really?
like, oh no.
I think in my mind,
Leading the witness.
that's like one of those like trivia staples, you know? It's like it's like a staple of like it's like a real pub quiz question. That knowing Roman numerals is like, you know what C stands for, is like 100. You know what D stands for. Like those ones are just the standard pub trivia questions. So I actually thought it would be higher.
Really?
I would have thought it would have gone higher for that, because I thought that L would have been well known. But it turns out, actually, I asked it recently as well, and I was surprised at how few teams got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was maybe more surprised that it was actually sticking at quite a high number, so 84%, so impressive. Or 81% it was actually, sorry. I have to talk, well, no, I don't have to talk, I am going to talk today. So this morning, I was away in South Alloa for hypnotherapy, which I am now doing, which I'm feeling quite excited to talk about, because I've spoken to you both about it already, which I think is testament. So this is my second session. So the reason I'm getting hypnotherapy is because, actually, funny we were talking about it, like I had a little bit of fear of flying. I was struggling with like flying. We booked flights and we're going to Italy for like the honeymoon in August, and for a wedding first and then honeymoon. We're piggybacking someone else's wedding. Just like, oh, you're going on a wedding, are you? We're going on a honeymoon straight afterwards. I hope you enjoy your wedding.
+2.
We're having a great honeymoon. But yeah, so obviously flying there. After me bargaining at one point to try and drive all the way to Italy, I was like, we could just drive and like stop off on the way. But actually realised that the flight was the issue that I was struggling with. And so someone suggested hypnotherapy, and obviously my first reaction was, ridiculous. And then went to the hypnotherapy, and it was amazing. Have you guys had any experience of it? Like any experience of hypnotherapy stuff?
No.
Like
No.
even like the stage stuff or anything like that? Or,
No, not terrible. Never done your talking therapies. Never a hypno one.
Yeah, I have been so impressed. Like I was saying to Kirsty, my hypnotherapist, that I couldn't believe it. I actually couldn't believe it. Like, I'll give you the short version, but basically, like struggling with flying, it's about conscious and subconscious, and they don't do this thing where it's like they turn into a chicken or anything like that. They sort of put you into a deep state and then talk to your subconscious and about the things. So we usually speak for about 45 minutes before we go into the session of sort of hypnotherapy as such, which is also really helpful. No, I've been really impressed with it. And so today I had my session and I came away from it feeling like 100 times lighter. Honestly, it just feels like huge way off. And so I feel like I should talk about it, because I find that kind of thing well worth talking about. Because if you don't talk about it, people think, oh, hypnotherapy is just a thing that happens with like, a swinging like pocket watch, and
then your eyes turn into swirls.
Yeah, exactly.
The room changes colour.
However, I will say something, and I was chatting to people about it last night as well, who said they got this for massage, like they get the same feeling from massage, that when I went sort of under, whatever you want to call it, you go into the kind of hypnotherapy treatment aspect, like you do lose track of time completely. And so they sort of put you into this thing, count you down, and you're kind of in a relaxed state. But you can still kind of answer questions and still kind of be like aware to some extent. But then I was like, when I came out of it, I was like, that felt like 5 minutes. But then I was like, I know it won't have been 5 minutes. And she asked, how long was that? How long do you think they were under for? And I was like, 10 minutes, knowing it would be longer than 5 minutes. And she was like, it's just shy of 40 minutes. It's like,
Wow.
That was a different answer to what I was expecting here. So, that's why I'm not doing the percentage game today, because I'd be well off. Like, my perception of anything is off.
Is it like a, I was going to say call and response, but not like that. But is it like I think you said you're answering questions?
You sort of, at times, like today, like this is the second session of the fear of flying stuff. She's like took me through like basically all the flight and going through all those phases, and then she said to respond if I was getting stressed at any of the points, because I think I'm quite a visual brain. Like for me, it was really like walking through the airport and getting on the plane and sitting in the seat and all the kind of things that I was getting stressed about. That it was like if I was going to get stressed thinking about it, I would say. But actually, the whole way through, I was like, it was fine. I was really pleased with it. Like it just really. And they sort of do different things if you're visual or you're more text based or you're more, so they'll do different exercises with you. But I was genuinely, I'd recommend it for anyone that has any kind of like we even talked today about like my relationship with food, which obviously like you can see right now has not been great recently. So like it's little things like that. I mean, not little things, but it was. I've been quite impressed with it. Really impressed.
Cool.
So
Nice.
I just basically wanted to take this opportunity to say I think hypnotherapy is class. So. If you're fancying something like that, go do it. get in touch. I can give you a recommendation.
I presume it's the kind of thing as well, though, that like obviously because a lot of since COVID, like we did a lot of therapy stuff moved online to things like Zoom or phone calls. But I presume it's the kind of thing that's really sort of has to be an in-person.
I don't know. I've actually not spoken to Kirsty about it. Sorry, this is the hypnotherapist I use.
Yes.
It's called Kirsty. I didn't want to just
Dr. Kirsty or whatever.
Yeah. But I don't know actually. I've not spoken to them about it. I can't imagine it would be. It was quite nice today. They played music today for the first time, and I hadn't just relaxing kind of.
My Chemical Romance.
Yeah. It was not okay 100 times over. But yeah, it was quite nice to have a little bit of something in the background. But I was like drifted off immediately to not like to sleep, but like just went into that deep state like really quickly. It was great. So I don't know if it would work as well because I think you'd be in quite a sort of comfortable environment. Yeah, maybe you're right. I think you might be right. It might not be so great on virtually, but still. I've got a sleep tape that I've still got to listen to, which I'm excited about.
Cool.
Yeah, and so like I got recommended by a friend to go there, and they say this sleep tape. They did it like 10 years ago, this hypnotherapy, and they still listen to the sleep tape like almost every day.
Cool.
So that's how powerful I think that this stuff is. So there we go. If you ever fancy it, let me know, and I'll give you a recommendation. Okay, question 4. The martial art Taekwondo originated in which country? The martial art Taekwondo originated in which country? That is question 4. In an answer, percentage. That's how we look at how the audience's ones we're looking at. Interesting. That's all I'm saying. Interesting.
I don't like when you say that.
That's all it is. I find it interesting. I'm not going to say anything further than that.
Don't get put off, Kirsty.
Well, I put something, and that's really, you can only do
you can only do your
what
best.
you can do.
Yeah. But did you go with your gut this time?
Yeah, but I don't trust
my
it.
gut. So, Scott,
But my gut lies to me. My gut.
So I was about to say something really crass there, and I decided not to. So I won't. No.
Yeah, keep it to yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. That's what your gut said. Scott, answer percentage.
Yeah.
Kirsty,
Good.
answer percentage.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, 31. Let's see your boards and pieces of paper. Okay.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Scott, do you want to go first?
I said Korea and
Yes.
79%.
Nice one. And Kirsty?
I said Japan in 77.
And 77.
We close.
Very
Yeah,
close.
we are.
Okay. The actual answer was, so you said Korea and Japan. The actual answer was Korea.
Yeah. Yeah.
We would have we'll accept North or South Korea, I think, for this one. We would have accepted, as long as you mentioned Korea, we would have accepted the answer for that one. So, as far as I know, in the marking sheet, I would have accepted for
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Because, I mean, there was a point before they were either North or South.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I assume Taekwondo is older than the war, or than the divide. But the percentage is the big thing here. So, let's see what percentages you wrote. Scott said 79 and Kirsty said 77. The actual percentage came out at 64.7. So quite a bit lower than you both thought.
Wow.
I think is quite low for that question.
Yeah. But, I mean, then I put Japan.
Yeah,
But I didn't, and I deliberately tried not to think about it and just wrote down the first thing that came into my head.
Yeah,
So
I do wonder if a lot of people say Japan. I think, people can confuse the Asian countries often for those kind of...
Especially with martial arts.
Yeah, martial arts questions can be tough for that kind of stuff. It was it came out at 64.7, but we're looking now for what the audience said, because this could snake in or be outside. There's a fair gap here, 13 and a bit % gap between Kirsty and the actual percentage, who's currently closest, Kirsty. So the audience said 65.5%. So audience are firing here. I mean, the interesting thing that I felt when I saw it was, that's close. So
Yeah, that's very close. Well done.
Yeah, so
Yikes.
that means that audience take first spot there, get themselves 3 points. Scott, down on 1 point after that question. Kirsty on 2. Very nice.
Fall from grace.
Yeah, the round 4 was what maybe you to, like get back and going here, Kirsty. That was a solid question. Yeah.
I just like to sit in either last place or in a happy middle.
Hey, if you're looking for last or first or middle place, we do have the league scores that are finishing up soon. Now, if you're listening to this podcast back, we'll have started the new league by this point. But if you're live, you will know that we run the league scores after the podcast every Friday. So we go through how everyone's doing in the league. It's up on the website as well. And the way it works is in a convoluted scoring system that everyone gets individual points after the quiz. So as the audience average goes out, fine, that's what we do for the podcast. But you get individual scores as well if you've submitted on the podcast form. And that's coming to an end soon. Scott, take us through how you're feeling being at the very top end, apart from one person, the very top end of the league.
Pretty chuffed. Unexpected.
This is week 9, by the way. So after 8 weeks, Scott is second top.
Yeah. A lot of that is participation, though.
I'd agree.
Yeah. But no, I feel, numbers aren't always my strong point, but I'm pretty happy with where I am.
You definitely had, in the past in the podcast, form for no form.
I think I've got the
inconsistent form.
The record for the biggest number.
Yeah. You got rattled one day and it just got out of hand.
That was when we had the different point scoring
system.
system.
It was all about
and
how
I
far
ruined
away
it on the first.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like a high 90s. You went for a low teens. It's like
Mr. Consistency.
Scott's doing really well in the league.
Yeah.
I'm trying hard.
Currently. But currently taking all that and really the big boss at the moment is Vernon Knight Quizzer, who is looking very good. Let me just double check the scores in the leaderboard. So this started on the 14th of April because we restarted the podcast on the 14th of April, and we're going to run 10 weeks, 10 weeks for a season. And so this is on week 8. Vernon Knight Quizzer's done all of them and has come 6th, 1st, 3rd, 9th, 2nd, 6th, and 3rd. So done some pretty good scoring, and that gets them 76 points in total. Wow. Which is pretty impressive. And Scott is in second place with 62 points.
I'm coming for you.
So this is the overall league. The way we do the scoring is effectively if you end up in the top half for each week, you get quite a lot of points. And if you end in the bottom half, you get 1 point.
Yeah, so it's easy to move up.
It means there's a good way of there's a good system. If you have to stay consistent, if you're going to keep staying at the top. I'll read out Scott's list of how well he's done. He's come 7th, 2nd, 10th, 8th, 3rd, 4th, 1st. So you really
all over the shop there.
You're just trying to get one in every slot.
Got a bingo card you're trying to fill out.
Exactly.
But one of the only there's about 3 people who have played them all. Russ Kirk has played it all as well and is in 5th place at the moment. And then I've played 5. And I am only 7 points behind Scott, which I really find good.
Yeah, I mean that means you're quite consistently high with yours, then. Yeah.
Second, 1st, 5th, 2nd. That's the kind of numbers you need to be pumping out there, Scott.
I'm trying.
Then you'd be beating Vernon Knight Quizzer, and you'd be there. But it's always me that's in the way. So
it seems that my game seems to be lacking.
Lacking. So what we're going to do, this was a bit of a trial league to see how this worked, and I really like the scoring system. What are your guys' thoughts? Are you happy with the scoring system and how it's working?
Yeah, it feels very inclusive. So if people start late, they can still
jump up and
whip around.
Yeah.
And the more people that are involved, the more points you can get in a week. So the harder it is to, obviously the more people that are involved in the week, the harder it is to win that week. So you get more points from a week that's busier. So the more people that are involved in the week, the more points you would get.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you watch live, watch back, listen back. Everyone's in the same boat.
So it means you don't have to actually watch the podcast live. You can just fill in the podcast form, let go of it. You can listen to the podcast weeks later and find out that actually you did really well.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get emailed the percentages you put down, so you can actually keep track of it.
Yeah. So it is, and we'll email everyone on the list about how the end of the league went. just to say, hey, you all did this.
Yeah.
Here's how you did.
You don't even have to listen. You can send it to your pal and be like, "I'm going to beat you in this."
Exactly that,
Points.
and it'll be on the on the website. But as you can see, the audience average does very well, and can be a pretty formidable.
I'm getting scared.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it's going to go today, but I've been impressed with the audience average today. The first one, terrible, but the rest of them, good. But the league, we're thinking of trying to start up prizes for it as well. So we'd really like to get sponsors for this as well, so that we can actually give like our league winners a prize.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're also tempted to try and bring on the league winner for like a podcast.
Oh, like a special guest appearance.
Yeah. Whoever wins, like comes on for
that's
a wee,
fun.
like special guest appearance.
Yeah.
Which I think would be really fun. It's funny. There's some people on the league table who have just done really well in busy weeks and are like really high up the table for like just 2 entries. Like actually, the highest on 2 is Alice. Beebs has got a second and a fifth, sitting there 16 points in 11th place. So there you go. So you can check it out on goosesquizzes.com/scores. It has all the scores from everyone and how everyone's doing. But we're going to carry on to make some more scores for today with the next question. Okay, we're on to the final question. Question 5. Name the video game developer who published titles like Overwatch, Warcraft, and Diablo. So question 5. Name the video game developer who published titles like Overwatch, Warcraft, and Diablo. That is question 5. So yeah, the scoring is all to play for. I don't know how the scores are going at the moment. It doesn't show me the cumulative scores as we're going through. I decided to not put that feature into the marking system because I didn't like it. I didn't want Louis to see that, or he'll start talking differently to people in a more monotone voice. Right. Answers, percentages. How are you getting on?
I'm missing one of the biggies one of the big players in the video game world. I just
Oh, are
can't
you
think
struggling
of-
with the answer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm struggling with the percentage.
Oh.
Is that giving away something? Maybe it is. Maybe it's giving away something there. Kirsty just smashing out the video games. Okay, I'm going to have to rush you. Going to have to push you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Go with your gut.
Okay.
Happy?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
never.
yeah. Well, there we go. Right, 3, 2, 1. Show me boards. Show me boards. Show me boards. Right. Let's go with Kirsty first.
I put Blizzard. I think I spelled it wrong. I put an extra Z. And then I put 55%.
Fair. And Scott?
I wrote Ubisoft and 72%.
72%. Ubisoft. Right, the actual answer was Blizzard.
Oh, I just got to use it.
It does have 2 Zs. Yeah. You were talking before the podcast about not knowing how to spell as it has double letters. Shame you didn't get a double L. No. So Blizzard. Blizzard.
Blizzard the Wizard Gizzard.
I would have known them for Warcraft. Anything else I wouldn't have known them for, really. I didn't play much Warcraft.
I think literally Warcraft is what I got them from.
Yeah, that's what I didn't know them from.
There's a new Diablo game out. Mobile.
Diablo mobile. Everything just goes mobile these days. I'm not a big fan of it. Like, something's gone mobile, I'm like, I'll never play that. Fortnite went to mobile recently, and I was like, not going to play that on mobile. Right.
Learn about angles.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Let's see your percentages. 72% for Scott, 55% for Kirsty. Everyone happy with the percentage?
No. Also, I think I might have already put a 55. Oh, I did. I started off with 55.
We don't.
Oh, you can't double.
Well, then put 56.
No, I can't have the same thing now.
She's acting.
The actual percentage is 58.7.
Really?
Yeah, 58.7.
I thought there would have been a lot of gamers quizzing.
There you go, 58.7. Now you know.
No, the gamers are gaming.
The gamers are be gaming.
58.7.
But let's see how the audience did. Are they snaking or are they not? They did 57.2, which...
So the only two I've been good at so far. Just so we're clear.
Yep. The audience have absolutely smashed. So by a matter of 1.5%.
Oh,
so yeah,
Yeah, it's all right.
it's
I'm just not playing this game again.
yeah. So 1.5%. That puts the audience in first. So the scores
That's
after
another
that.
2 points for Kirsty.
The scores after that round: 1 point for Scott, 2 points for Kirsty, and 3 points for the audience. Which brings us nicely into the final scores. So it is tight, people. It's tight.
I think it might be like a 3-way draw.
Does everyone? Yeah. How does everyone feel they've done?
I think
Well,
I
I feel like
started.
I've been middling.
Middling,
And then I did a little dip.
and then
Little
dipped
stumble.
away.
I think I started out well and then ended not well.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, I can let you know third place. Third place with a valiant score of 8 points was Kirsty.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Played.
Well done. Well done.
Then in second place with 10 points was Scott.
Oh, you're kidding.
Scott right there. Which means winning today's quiz, hands down. I think they've done it before. The audience have won before, have they?
Yeah?
I think so.
Yeah.
Have the audience won 12 points to the audience.
Wow.
First place, well played audience. Good job. I'm impressed.
GG.
Yeah,
GG.
very well played. That was a pretty
Yeah,
tough
chat.
set of percentages, I would say. So there you go.
They did. They did. Yeah, they snuck in. They did a couple
Yeah.
of times,
They did.
as they do.
Yeah, so it has been an absolute pleasure being your quiz hosts today and your podcast hosts today. I won't do the full readout of the outro. Is that okay?
Yep.
We can just do it ad hoc and
Yeah.
we can put it in post, right?
Yeah, go. We can leave this part in as well if you like.
If you want. But no, it's been. How did you both enjoy your days?
Yes?
You get to
Very
see.
nice.
We'll get to see how everyone did on points wise afterwards as well. So yeah. So if you're sticking out for live recording, we'll shut it down for a second, then we'll restart and we'll show you your answers and how it all went and how everyone got on. So ready yourself for that as well. But it's been a pleasure today. We will see you for the final week of this. Next week is the final of the league. And I reckon it's all to play for because I can currently see where everyone's at, and it's going to be an exciting one, I'd say. It's going to be an exciting one. So we'll get this shut down. Kirsty, any final remarks for everyone?
So long and good night.
Was that the
Deep.
is that the feeling of the podcast?
It's also my Chemical Romance lyric. It's fine.
Like And Scott, any final remarks?
Go and enjoy your music and your art, and just really just live it.
Deep. And I'll say bums on your t-shirt. So it's been a pleasure
Yeah.
being your host today, and we'll see you all again for some more podcast action. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you all again later.